I've always been drawn to mysteries and thrillers, but I never thought I'd be living one myself. Stories about waking up in strange places with no memory of how you got there always seemed like fiction until it happened to me. I found myself in an unfamiliar and bewildering place, as if I had been thrust into a suspense film without a script. If anyone has experienced something similar, I'm eager to hear your stories. Here's mine, still fresh and bizarre in my mind. The day had been ordinary enough, a Friday evening after a hectic work week. At 29, I'm a male who usually prefers quiet nights, but a friend persuaded me to join a casual gathering at a local bar. It wasn't a wild night, just a few drinks, laughter, and good company. I remember checking my phone often, anxious about the time, determined not to miss the last train home. Around midnight, I decided it was time to head out. The crisp night air nipped at my skin as I pulled my coat tighter, making my way to the station. It seemed like any other night, until everything went dark. I awoke to a dimly lit space, the air thick with a musty scent. My head throbbed, and as I blinked away the grogginess, I realized I was sprawled on a dusty wooden floor. The room was narrow, its walls lined with shelves holding old, forgotten books. Panic rose within me as I struggled to piece together how I had ended up here. The silence was eerie, punctuated only by the sound of my own breathing. I pushed myself up, wincing as the room spun, trying to make sense of my reality. Standing on shaky legs, I surveyed my surroundings. The room resembled a forgotten attic more than a living space, cluttered with an odd assortment of items, a rusty bike, a broken lamp, and a headless mannequin, adding to the uncanny atmosphere. My first instinct was to find a way out. I stumbled toward a small window, peering out to see nothing recognizable, just darkness and the silhouette of distant trees. My phone was dead, and there was no sign of my coat or bag. Desperation clawed at me, yet I forced myself to stay calm, methodically checking every corner for clues or a possible exit. Just as fear threatened to overwhelm me, a creaking sound broke the silence behind me. I spun around, heart pounding, to find an older male, possibly in his 60s, standing in the doorway. His expression was inscrutable, eyes shadowed under a wide-brimmed hat. He mumbled something unintelligible, his words tangled in a thick accent. Despite my fear, I asked where I was, what had happened. His response was a cryptic smile, pointing towards a narrow staircase that led downward. There was something unsettling about him, yet an urgent need for answers compelled me to follow. Descending the stairs, the air grew colder. At the bottom, I found myself in a small, dimly lit room. The older male gestured towards a table where my belongings lay, phone, wallet, and a note. The note was from my friend, apologizing for a prank gone too far. Apparently, they had planned to surprise me with an escape room experience after the bar, but somewhere along the way, communication failed, and they lost track of me. The shock of realization mixed with relief, though questions still lingered about the stranger's role in all this. After the initial shock subsided, I managed to contact my friends, who were relieved but deeply apologetic. The experience was surreal, leaving me with more questions than answers about the stranger and the strange place. It taught me the importance of staying aware and cautious, even among familiar faces. While the bizarre series of events seemed to be the result of a misguided prank, the unsettling feeling of waking up somewhere unknown stayed with me. It's a story I share cautiously, wondering if others have faced similar bewildering moments. Waking up in that strange place was both terrifying and enlightening. I'm curious to hear if anyone else has experienced something like this. Have you ever found yourself in a situation that left you questioning reality? Share your stories. I'm eager to know. I'm not alone in this.